Bonjour mes amis. So basically, just a little disclaimer. Okay, so there's this girl. It makes it sound like I'm about to come out as a lesbian. But no, on TikTok, I discovered Soggy Rice 3. I watch her a lot on YouTube because YouTube's my main bit. Soggy Rice 3. But like her YouTube handles changed, like Alex Bratz. So I'm not too sure what's going on there because I'm not too up to date with her other social media. But yeah, basically I just want to give a disclaimer that I am going to not like copy her content but take a bit of hefty inspiration from it. So like earlier I was on TikTok and I saw her video. It was like her June TBR to be read, and I thought there's no point in me doing one of them because like there's no telling what I'm going to read in a month, because sometimes I read a couple books and sometimes I read like nothing. So I was going to say there's no point, but I also don't really know what to do. Like that's only going to be a very short portion of this video. Like I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of it yet, but I thought it's best to start, and I kind of felt like filming. But, okay, first on the list is this one, Philosophy, a very short introduction. Okay, so like the 3 books I'm about to show you, I have actually started reading all 3 of them already. But that's besides the point. At the beginning of the month, I finished The Brain by David Eagleman. That was pretty cool. That was pretty nifty. I quite enjoyed it. I think I like cognitive studies. So I finished reading this one a couple weeks ago now, I think. Here, there's this little diagram of fields contributing to cognitive science. And these kind of just seem like the things that interest me. I'll read out the titles because I don't think you can see. But psychology, philosophy, linguistics, artificial intelligence, neuroscience, and anthropology. So these and sociology are like my little knickknacks, my little things I like. I mean, I only study psychology at A level, but I can't really study any of the other ones, I don't think. I don't know why I brought this out. But yeah, so that made me realise, you know, the subjects I like have all got something to do with cognitive neuroscience. I don't really know why, I can't remember, but anyway, so this one, I got this one for philosophy. I just bought it from World of Books and I've started reading it. I'm currently on page 20. I could have read a lot, like a decent bit more by now, because you know it's very short, but very short introduction. But the thing is that Edward Crooke, he's quite a funny guy. He was like, you should not read philosophy uncritically. And good point. Craig helps the reader grapple with some key texts and problems carefully chosen to show how philosophical inquiry is not just an academic exercise, but something we should all care about. And yeah, I do get that from what I've read so far. But he's discussing, like, this part I'm on right now is about Plato's Crito, I think. I don't know how you say any of those names. And then the next chapter is Hume's Of Miracles. So, I've already seen in my library at college they have Hume's. But yeah. And this brings me swiftly on to my second book, The Last Days of Socrates by Plato. I'm on the Roman numerals parts of the book. I am reading the general introduction because I can't. This is Plato we're talking about. I'm probably not going to have a clue what's going on. So I'm reading it in case there's something really helpful and because it's going to help me read the rest of it. But that's fine. I'll read the back for you if you want. Trial and death of Socrates have almost as central a place in Western consciousness as the trial and death of Jesus. In 4 superb dialogues, Plato provided the classic account. Socrates spent a lifetime analysing ethical issues, and the Euthyphro finds him outside the courthouse, still debating the nature of piety with an arrogant acquaintance. The Apology is both a robust rebuttal to the charges of impiety and corrupting young minds, and a definitive defence of the philosopher's life. Later condemned and imprisoned in the Crito, Socrates counters the arguments of friends urging him to escape. And finally, in the Phaedo, Plato shows him calmly confident in the face of death, skillfully arguing the case for the immortality of the soul. Such works as Harold Tarrant explains in his fine introduction to this revised edition are no longer regarded by scholars as direct transcripts of real events. The power to move us and to change our moral assumptions remain undiminished. That was awfully difficult for me to read. I'm gonna have to search up what some of these words mean, because I don't really know what piety, definitely not how you say it is. And I think there was another word here that I didn't know. Robust rebuttal. I can guess what that means, but who's to say? These are my philosophy books of the minute. I don't really care about Plato. Like, I don't really know what he's on about. But like, people say if you want to start learning psychology, like, start with Plato. I didn't. I started with the Consolations of Philosophy by Alain de Botton. And then I read The Ethics of Ambiguity by Simone de Beauvoir. I don't know if that was the smartest idea I've ever had, because I'm not sure what I got out of that, apart from a love for Simone de Beauvoir. This is my bookshelf. I might actually give a bookshelf tour. I'm gonna give a bookshelf tour. Not right now, because it's like 9. The sun is down, I think. Like, I'm ready for bed, Loki. I've got like my pseudocreme on. I've had a shower. I'm pretty much ready. My third book is Betty Friedan's The Feminine Mystique. I think I might have actually mentioned I'm reading this already, which kind of takes away the fun of mentioning it. But anywho, I feel like I've read a lot more of this than the bookmark is. Because that's not my bookmark. That's why. That's just a mark of an interesting page. I'm actually on page 107 out of the 309 that there is. So I'm actually a third of the way through the book. Eek. Fun. Love it. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Very cool. Very cool. You know how I'm trying to read psychology, trying to read philosophy, and now I'm moving on to my feminist literature. That's where Simone de Beauvoir may be becoming very helpful, because she's like an existential philosopher, but also she's a feminist. The Second Sex is a book I will be reading someday. I love Simone de Beauvoir. I think I've actually made up this love in my head, because I don't actually know anything about her, apart from that she was in an open relationship with Jean-Paul Sartre. Whilst we're on the topic of Sartre, I don't know how you say anyone's names. I would also like to read Camus. I used to call him Camus, like Albert Camus. But people say Camus, so I'm going to say Camus. But yeah, I want to read The Stranger or The Outsider. I don't know why he'd name all his books so similarly. I also want to read the myth of Sisyphus. I would like to dabble in absurdism. Some might say dabble. I realised recently that my philosophy-esque mindset is existential. I, to my core, am an existentialist. Maybe that is because I read Nausea by Sartre. I really want to learn French. One of these days, oh my gosh, do you think my life's goal should be to read The Second Sex in the original French? TBR of this month. French in 3 months. So I basically, because it says in 3 months, the TBR is only to read a third of it. I'm currently on, so the book actually starts on this page where it says lesson 1, and I'm currently on this page, so you can do the math. I'm having to come to terms with the fact that Duolingo is not... It's apparently been handed over to AI or something. I don't exactly know what that means. I'm out of the loop. I'm sorry, I don't watch the news. I don't read the news. I'm not really a big researcher because I'm lazy and ignorant and all that stuff. So I'm not too sure what's happened. They can't actually be making this many ads that quickly, so they're obviously AI. But my streak is really long and I do like it. Like, it's French at the end of the day. I just won't pay for a subscription, even though for my birthday I did kind of want Super Duolingo. That's fine, there are other ways for me to learn. So this is my TBR so far. I would also like to read a work of fiction, because I feel like I haven't read any fiction in like a while. But that's just not true, because I literally read, Dear Chrysanthemums, and I also read The Picture of Dorian Gray. But I read The Picture of Dorian Gray quite quickly, and I ignored all the notes and the introduction. So it's really up to you to determine what I got out of reading that. Like, from what I read, nothing in it was like homosexual at all. But the book is supposed to be The book's not supposed to be homosexual, but there is supposed to be a very strong homosexual theme. And I didn't really get that. But also, bear in mind that I'm not saying like I don't have a gaydar, but when it comes to like literature, I read The Streetcar Named Desire for English. Did anyone know Alan Gray was gay the first time I read it? Because I didn't. Like, I don't know if I've mentioned this before. It'd be a bit weird if I had. But Alan Gray, like, Blanche was talking to Mitch about how she was talking to Alan, and then she was like, she caught him with someone else. I don't think I read that bit the first time. And then she was like, you disgust me. To be honest with you, I just thought, like, very modern reading, but I thought he was like bed rotting or something. Like, I just thought he was like deeply depressed and he was like rotting in bed and he hadn't showered a fair bit or something. And then she was like, you disgust me, because he was so smelly and like he had grime under his fingernails or something. Not because he was gay. Like, I'm also doing my English coursework at the minute because I do Streetcar Named Desire for coursework where I come from. It's fun, it's great. I started writing it yesterday and I'm almost done, to be honest. I wish it was, the word count was like maybe 3,000 words. I could write 3,000 words so much more easily than I could 1,000. Because I've already almost gone over that. I have gone over that, let's be for real. But yeah, I'm also not done. I'm doing on escapism in scene 9. Don't ask me what that means, but yeah. Okay, I've been recording for 18 minutes, so this is actually not going to work. My phone's definitely going to die. Okay, I'll see you in my next clip. What's up, vlogger? Okay, so it is the next day, as some might say, and I am going to do a bookshelf tour. I don't know how I will do it. I'll show you it though. Okay, hopefully you got a good look. Okay, so for reference, the books at the top are like my main ones, in the sense of they're the ones that I want to read the most. And then this middle shelf is for books that I'm less serious about, and some nail polish. And this shelf is CDs and some DVDs and this little tea tag. And then the bottom shelf, books that I am the least serious about. Here is where you'll find the majority of the children's books and Colleen Hoover. I can get into why I have like 3 books by Colleen, but I don't really feel like talking about it. Like, she's not a big part of my life. Okay, like over here I have this, which is the, I want to say, Scholarments series. There's the 3rd book, which is The Golden Enclaves, which I do want. I was reading it in year 9, perhaps, but then I reread it like last year, and then I got the 2nd book, which is The Last Graduate, and I read that last summer. And then got the Hunger Games series up to the 3rd book. I haven't got Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes or the new one, which is what, like Sunrise on the Reaping, but I do really want them. But I have to read Mockingjay first because I haven't read it. The Fault in Our Stars, I've read this one, and then I've also read Looking for Alaska. That's not this one. Okay, Looking for Alaska is, I'm gonna say, what probably got me reading last summer, because I was reading it around the time that my prom was happening. Like, I was actually reading it on prom day. Like, I was getting ready, and then I got ready, and then I was like, time to read. Like, I'm gonna, I think, make a video about my favourite books I've read, but I've not read many books and I don't have many opinions, so it'll take me some time to figure that out. Okay, and I do like The Fault in Our Stars. It's good. I like John Green. I don't really like the movie. The movie's not the same as the book. Then we have Stoner by John Williams. You really can't see what I'm pointing at. Stoner, which I'm a little bit of the way through, but I think I'm going to restart. Woman on the Edge of Time. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, I don't know what kind of angle this is. This book, right, is actually so real. Like, I was reading it because I need to read dystopia for school. Let me tell you, this is not dystopia. I actually don't like this angle at all. But that's fine, I'll get over it. Not dystopia, okay? These little pink tags here, no, there's only one, but that marks where the dystopian bit starts. Chapter 15, in case anyone wants to know. That much of this book is dystopia. The rest is utopia and social criticism of the 70s or whatever. Okay, but the utopia described in this, I was literally brushing my teeth in the shower the other day or something, and I was like thinking about life, and I was like, oh my gosh, why do we have to go to school for so many years, spend so much money, when we could just like pick what we want to do when we're younger and like learn to that or whatever. I was like, this is not an original thought. Like, I've read this somewhere, and it's this book. It's like one of the biggest books I've ever read. Which is a little bit embarrassing because it shows that I've not read that many books. Because I mean, it's kind of thick, but yeah, I do like this. Next up, we have more dystopia. So we have The Road and We. I have not read We, but I do need to read it. It's not too long, so. And The Road. I like The Road. It's good. I actually read this in like a weekend, but if you consider that all the pages look like that, it's not really too impressive of a task. Okay, I'm just taking out chunks of books at a time. So we have David Diop, At Night All Blood is Black. I read this in year 9, I think. And I really like it, but I can't remember it. Like, I remember a tiny bit of it. I'm not going to spoil what I think I can remember, but it's good. Like, I like it, and I hope to reread it at some point. It's not like a very long book, so that's actually doable as well. It's the 2021 International Booker Prize, but I swear I've never really seen anyone talk about it. And after that, we have Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. I got this for my EPQ because my EPQ was how can you alter your life to achieve greater happiness, and this guy's talking about meaning, so yeah, I do like it. I could divulge, but this is a rapid, fast-paced book thing haul tour. Next up, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Again, I started reading this in year 9, but I didn't get very far because I was reading it as like my school book, but we didn't do much reading in school. Do hope to read it one day. The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I haven't read this one either, I'll be honest. At the time when I got this, I really, really, really wanted it. But then as soon as I got it, I was like, I've started it twice. And I'm going to have to start it again a third time. But this summer is going to be the summer that I read this book, okay? We have A Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. I don't know. By Alexander Solzhenitsyn. I don't think that's said right. Story about this book is that I spilt water on it at some points. The whole thing's like frazzled. I started reading this at some point. I got about 35 pages in, so I'm just gonna restart it, I think, when I actually do get around to reading it. Shock horror, but I have not read any of the 5 books I'm about to show, is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I do want to read this one. Look at that front cover though, like, I got it from TK Maxx, but for $3.49. But I do want to read this one like quite pronto, I think, because I do know a bit about it. Obviously, it's Frankenstein, so I would like to read some of that. People of Abandoned Character by Claire Whitfield. It's about Jack the Ripper's wife. I don't know what that will entail. Again, the front cover though, like, I've not started it ever. I've thought about it before. I don't know when I'll read this. Maybe, like, I feel like I'm not a big, this has to be a summer read, or like, this is a book for the winter kind of girl. But I think this actually is a book for later, like after summer. Daisy Jones and the Six. Started reading it, don't know if I'll ever finish it. I've watched the show, don't really care. Sorry. We have The Glass Blower of Murano by Marina Fiorato. I don't know. But yeah, this book I found somewhere or other. I'm a little bit intrigued by this book. Next one, we have All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Duer. I don't know if I'll ever get around to reading this because the print is tiny and it's very thick, so it's very daunting. I might one day if I feel up for it. Gotta keep my shoulders down. My posture's awful. To keep things simple, I'm going to be skipping the bottom shelf and going straight to the top one. So I was only going to do a 3-book section, but then this one fell out, so I'm doing this one too. This is Swimming in the Dark by Thomas Jodorowsky. I don't know how you say that. I don't have an accent. But yes, I started reading this some other time. but I don't really remember it. I'm 41 pages in, so I'm going to start reading it again. Like if I start reading it, I'm going to read it from the beginning. Next, we have Dear Chrysanthemums. You may remember I was reading this not too long ago. Very quick read. Very pretty good book. I did enjoy it. We have The Beauty Looking for Alaska. Oh, it's amazing. This book has changed me as a person. Any excuse to talk about a labyrinth, and I will. I'll talk about a labyrinth. We have Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, which I do really want to read. And my brother got me this copy for Christmas, along with my mug, which you may have noticed before, my Alice in Wonderland Waterstones mug. Next ones. Okay, so the books on the top shelf, I've read a couple more of them, like in proportion to the other shelves, because the top shelf's my like top faves. So first we have The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, which I have in fact read, but it was a poor read. Like I just kind of sped through it because I wanted to speed through it. So comme ci comme ça, I don't really know. We have Monkey by Wu Cheng-en. This little giddy book, it is so fun. It is so fun. I do like it. Like, do I remember everything that happens? No, but I did freaking love it. It's just so cool. Prozac Nation by Elizabeth Wurtzel. It was actually my dad's girlfriend who gave this to me. I don't know if she gave it to me to keep, but that was last summer and I've still got it. So yeah, I think about this book all the time and I really want to read it. I got about 50 pages in, but then I never read any of it ever again. I was literally thinking about this one earlier. I'm thinking I'm going to read it soon. I don't really care that it's not really like a summer read per se. I just really want to read it because I really want to, I need that in my life. Next one is Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I love Never Let Me Go. I also have the movie right here. Okay, but Never Let Me Go. Okay, people say read this book and you're literally gonna be in tears and whatnot. I don't know what this tag's for. Let me find out. Oh, it's about sex. That's because I only tagged it because this is dystopia, so I wanted it for school. I do admire this book very much. I've actually got more pages to folded over, you just can't see. But Kathy is literally the sweetest. Like if you ever meet me and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so Kathy H, that is the biggest compliment ever. Okay, because that just means that I think you understand on the deepest of levels. Like, you are exuding empathy and understanding. You have a kindness in your spirit. Kathy H is a warm orb, and I think that's beautiful. I love the way this is written as well. Like, I don't think I take a lot of things in the right way, so I think I've taken this in the wrong way. But to me, it's like I literally feel like a child, and Kathy is telling me about everything, and it's so sweet. And it's we're sat in this warm but not hot room, and it's kind of raining, and it's kind of dark outside, but not dark as in late, but dark as in the sun's nowhere to be seen. But Kathy's there and she's telling me their story. I just love. Maybe this is one of my favorite books, I don't know. Maybe I should read, Clara and the Sun, or Remains of the Day, or maybe both of those, I don't know. Next for Nausea by Jean-Paul Sartre. Book, I do enjoy it. I don't whenever I think about it, I'm oh, I don't remember any of it, but I do remember it. The more I think about what I remember of a book, the more I remember of a book. So, Existentialism Did your heart just skip a beat? Because mine did. No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai. I don't know. I've got this nice M&S tag. A normal person could read this whole book in one sitting because the pages are literally teeny tiny, but again, oh, I'm too good at talking about books. The Discomfort of Evening by Mariette Lucas Regnebeld. I really want to get My Heavenly Favourite, also by the same author. It is so like weird that it actually makes me feel like understood. Like this is like child freakiness. Okay, that sounds a bit pedophilic, but this is one of my favourite books. I read this like on like the week before Christmas. So good. Like it's so like some bits were a bit much for me. I just remembered the ending. Whew, no spoilers. Read the fucking book because it's so good. Oh, it's beautiful, especially since like I grew up on a farm kind of, so it's kind of got like a childlike comfort to it. Speaking of child, The Catcher in the Rye. I have not read this book because I literally got it like a week ago, but I really want to read this book. Once I read this book I'll let you know. But the next lot I've got is 6 books actually. The Trial by Kafka. Kafka's like good. I listened like the audiobook of Metamorphosis and I really quite liked it. I'm like looking forward to reading it. We have The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I read this last summer too. You might be catching on that all the books I've ever read I read last summer. I like The Bell Jar quite a lot because it's just like still once I read this, look at that little blue bell. But like once I read The Bell Jar, I was like, I felt so much more literarily inclined. Like I was out on a walk. Like I think it's because where I was reading this as well. I'm gonna reread this again this summer. Sorry, I do like The Bell Jar. Do love. I'll get back to you if it's one of my favourite books. Then I also have Ariel by Sylvia Plath. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily by her. Like obviously the things I've never really read it. I'm not the biggest poetry gal, but that's because I haven't found the right poetry, I think. Clarice Lispector, Agua Viva. Probably not how you say it. So abysmal, because tell me why I'm 44 pages in and I had to stop. I'm also gonna have to reread it because I was not taking any of it in. I was reading it like it was supposed to be a book. This is not a friggin' story. I don't know, maybe it is. I have To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. This is a copy from TK Maxx. Like I like buying books from TK Maxx because 1, they're friggin' cheap, and 2, like they've got like these cute covers like Frankenstein. I've got like The Art of War by Sun Tzu, which I haven't actually read. I think I just wanted a copy of it for fun. So I started reading this the other day and it wasn't making the most sense, but I'm also 19 pages in, so maybe I should give it another chance. Up we have On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, which I've started reading again a couple times, but I'm actually going to read it at the end of this month, so it's on my July TBR. I'm thinking of taking this because I'm going on a trip and you will see a vlog of this trip when it happens, but I'm thinking this is the perfect book to take with me because it just fits the vibe. Okay, final books. So first up we have Sigmund Freud, The Unconscious. Let me tell you though, I'm not, this woman here, Betty Friedan, has got me not enjoying Sigmund Freud. Like I never really did. Like I was reading this and I was like, I think he needs to get a grip. I think this guy was just a bit bottled up, and then he took that out on everyone else, especially women. And what was his wife's name? Like it was something really pretty. Martha. Oh, shout out Martha, my homegirl. Then we have very short introduction to psychology. Good book if you want to get into psychology. This is basically like a simplified version of the A level, so that's that for you. Dostoevsky, we have White Nights. which I started reading in the car the other day. It got 16 pages in and then stopped. Embarrassing, but I was loving it, and I'm forcing myself to read this little tiny book before I buy any more Dostoevsky, because I really want like The Idiot and something else probably. I think Dostoevsky's my guy. Like, I started reading it. It's fire. Final thing, walking through the Gospel of John. My sister gave this to me. Ooh. Can't wait to read this one. It's more my size, I think. Wait, who is this though? For over 20 years, John Edward lived as an addict on the streets of Ireland and London until a radical encounter with Jesus Christ set him free. After a year of rehab at Teen Challenge, John is now over 30 years free and runs a ministry called Walking Free. Revelation 12:11 says, "They overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony." John has since shared his testimony all over the world and dedicated his life to helping addicts, the homeless, and others find life and walk free in Jesus. Amen, sister. I don't know. I'm on the fence about Christianity. My sister is turning Christian. Praise be. Let's be the fruit. Anywho, let's talk about that for another day. Okay guys, that last clip was like scarily long. Like, from what I'm seeing, it's 26 minutes. I'm not going to show you my CDs. I'll do that in a different video at a later date, because again, I can talk about anything for any amount of time. And then this is probably where I'm going to wrap this video up, because otherwise this video will be really, really long. I don't remember what the first part was about. There's a clip of me drumming that I'm putting in. For reference, I can't drum, I'm aware. Okay. I'm learning, it's basically there so that people like my sister or other people who have heard that I drum but have never actually seen me drum like on an actual kit, they can see like, oh yeah, you know what, she's got a little beat going, you know? So I think I'm actually talking louder. It wouldn't make a difference to you because on CapCut I like to turn the volume up anyway. So if I am talking louder, I just won't turn the volume up as much. But other than that, no, because what actually was the first clip about? Oh, I remember. It's my June TBR. So this is like books. You might see more of me this week. More of me from this week. But you'll see it next week. I don't know. One video a week just like doesn't fulfill me. I want to repaint my nails actually at some point. So I might get around to that. Sorry that I'm not looking at the camera too much. Because I don't know. I just like to look. I like to make eye contact with myself. Which means I'm not making eye contact with you or anyone else. Okay, thank you for watching if you did. Sorry that my room's a mess. Don't care, I didn't ask. Okay, like a lot of the angles in this video have been unflowering. Don't care, goodbye, love you.